Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. Welcome back to Wall Street Bullion. Our guest today is Fabian Garcia, entrepreneur and host of the Breakaway Show. Welcome back. How are you doing?
Oh, it's great to be back for my second time around. I hope you guys liked the first episode, and this will be an update of that.
Yeah, no, it's a huge pleasure having you come down to speak to the whole community. I wanted to get you down and talk about, all the craziness that's happening in the markets right now. You're looking at the stock market. We're seeing, some massive downturn. People are saying, is this due to the tariffs? Is this due to, whatever the cause is? What are your thoughts on it, Fabian?
So, Trump reposted a video on his Truth Social account the other day that was really indicative of whether he's alluding to something or if it's what he's actually doing. But there's a consensus out that what he's doing is number one, obviously trying to take care of America, putting America first. But the other is that there's about 8 or 13, I forget the figure, but there's trillions of dollars that's going to be refinanced of American debt in next year.
Okay.
So, so the consensus is, I guess, that Trump is trying to flood money into the bond market and get interest rates down, so that when they refinance the U.S. debt, they get a really good deal on it. Instead of paying a much higher rate, they're going to get a much lower rate, and that's really the one of the reasons why he's doing what he's doing now. Did he retweet that just to cause maybe some confusion because people don't really know what he's doing, or is that what he's really doing? I think it's working. I mean, we see everything in that video coming to pass. There's massive volatility in the stock market. You saw today we had a crazy run down and then a run up. Obviously, the Black Monday didn't happen. We had a jump. Europe is now coming to the negotiating table and say that they're open to zero tariffs. Taiwan, the same. Japan. So
Yeah.
all these countries are now calling and saying, okay, fine, let's play ball. Because last night, what we saw was the Asian markets got absolutely obliterated. They triggered the circuit breakers in Taiwan and Japan. Chinese market down 10%. Everyone knows that this is not sustainable for their own economy and their own stock markets. Now, the U.S. economy can withstand a lot more volatility than these massively smaller markets in Asia. So,
Right.
if they want to play the game of who can wait it out the most and let the market bleed, they're not going to win. So, it's only natural that they want to come now to the negotiating table with Trump, and I think that's a good thing overall.
And what about gold and silver? Like, for the past like the past almost year, you've seen a tear in gold, you've seen silver going up, but in the past couple of days, you've seen it go lower. Is that just you know, uh, is that just due to the overall stock market being down? Like, why are we seeing gold and silver go down if there's uncertainty?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have some big investors. For instance, Warren Buffett, who is basically all out of the market. Jamie Dimon, who sold like $250 million of his stock because in preparation for something like this. I think the smart move would be to hoard your money in gold the last few months. Now that stocks are on a massive, massive discount, use some of that money you made in gold market and then transfer it out into another basket of goods, in the stock market. So that may be one of the reasons why it's happening. I don't see anything negative happening in gold. I think it's just people taking liquidity from one market and putting it to where they see a good value at.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to ask you, Fabian, I guess other than everything that's happening in the markets, what is your main concern right now these days, or what are you looking at that's, kind of scaring you? Is it the bond market? Is it the commercial real estate? Like what are you scared of right now, or what do you have
Well,
your eye on?
the thing is, the highest percentage of homes are going into default since about 2020 or so, or even before that. So that's something to keep your eye on, because if we have another housing crash, a lot of these people are stuck into higher interest rate loans. I know interest rates have come down. People can't make their payment. The economy is not as good as it was. It's going to take time to get it back there. What's going to happen with the people who are currently going into default? Is that going to cause a huge mortgage crisis again? And how is that going to play with everything else happening already? If we add another piece of volatility in the mortgage market, what's that's going to say for the bond market, for the stock market, where these people may have to pull money out of the retirement accounts early in order to not get their home foreclosed on? What's that going to do to the amount of money, of liquidity in the stock market? So there's all
Right.
these various things happening right now that I think in the next 6 months is going to be incredibly interesting to see, to watch happen.
Welcome to the Cayman Islands, a premier offshore jurisdiction where natural beauty meets financial stability. Here, your wealth is more than secure. It thrives in one of the most trusted and respected financial centers in the world. For over a decade, SWP has been the trusted choice for precious metal investors worldwide. Our purpose-built 6,000 square foot facility sets a new standard in precious metal storage. We are proud to be one of the only vault operators approved by the London Bullion Market Association. Beyond safeguarding your assets, we're committed to making a difference in our community by supporting local causes and events that reflect our values. As we continue to expand and innovate our services, we ensure that your wealth is safe and strategically positioned to shield you from the uncertainties that lie ahead. Strategic wealth preservation, trusted today and ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people are talking about everything that's happening with the tariffs. What is your personal thoughts? Do you think they are a good thing? Like, is it a good thing for America? Obviously, I'm here in Canada. What are your thoughts on the tariffs?
Sure. So, I just made a video about this the other day as well. Tariffs have been something that have been used for 6,000 years. The Mesopotamians, the ancient civilization, used tariffs. The Romans used tariffs. Every single modern country and empire uses tariffs. Basically, every single country around the world has some form of tariff. If they didn't work, then they wouldn't have been used for thousands and thousands of years across different types of empires, authoritarian, progressive, you name it. It's obviously meant to incentivize domestic production, and every country, as I said, uses some form of tariff. I think it's the only way out from this deglobalization that we're experiencing right now as a world. I think that a lot of countries offshored way too much production to countries with terrible human rights records, and just really forced slavery in the case of China and many of these other countries. And
Right.
the only solution is to have these hard times that where the market's going to be volatile like it is. But you need to fix something, because if you keep doing the same thing, nothing will change clearly. I love that Trump is doing this. The last fact I want to mention is that the wealthiest 10% of people own 93% of the value of the stock market.
Oh, really?
That means that the other 90% of us are fighting over 7% of the stock market. So when people say, oh, the stock market's down, the country's doing terrible, it's not really indicative of where the wealth is. The average American has less than $1,000 in their bank account, which is pretty insane.
Yeah,
So
that's
do those
sad.
Americans have a massive amount of the stock market? Who's actually losing money in that case? We know the hedge funds were massively margined, and the last few days have gotten tons of margin calls. Now, can that be a reason why they got money from elsewhere to infuse into the market so they wouldn't have those margin calls? I don't know, but that's typically what happens.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking. Absolutely. And a lot of people are talking about BRICS nations and how a lot of these countries are moving away from the US dollar, and they just don't want to be, I guess, like what happened with Russia when they did invade Ukraine, everyone blacklisted or, blackballed Russia and all of their goods. So now, they're forming BRICS and moving away from the US dollar and that side of the world. Do you think it'll be successful? Do you think they'll keep growing? Because I think 40% of the population are in these countries, in these BRICS nations.
Yeah. The biggest issue I see with BRICS is who's going to run everything. Now, clearly, China is the head honcho when it comes to that. But are these other countries going to allow China to dictate the terms and the devaluation and everything else of the currency, or are they willing to take a backseat for what? To demonize the relationship with America in order to have the second rate, unproven, potentially unsustainable currency that China is spearheading? And who's going to formulate all that? There's just so much into it. And these nations clearly have never gotten together and done something like this. So if this is the first test case, I mean, imagine what the failure rate is potentially going to be. As leader of a
Right.
country, are you going to bring your country and put all this investment and allow your currency to be regulated by China, which is not a very stable country if you're talking about financial stability? I mean, they've
Right.
only been semi-wealthy for like 20, 30 years. Or do you see America and you say, you know what, we messed up here. Let's play both sides. Whoever comes out on top, we're going to play with. As it seems like El Salvador is doing, they're playing with the Americans and the Chinese to the benefit of their own country.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before you go, Fabian, I really love for people to connect with you. Where can people connect with you? Where can people find your work?
Sure. My Instagram is Fabian Lux, Luxe. You can find me on Twitter. It's Fabian underscore 1776. And what we do is we just talk about these issues. We go deep into issues, political, cultural, and monetary as well, because they're all intertwined.
Yeah, no, you know what? Everyone watching, I highly recommend please go follow Fabian, check out his work. And everyone watching, please hit the like and subscribe button. And Fabian, as the market develops, would absolutely love to have you back on in the future.
Absolutely, will love that.
Talk to you soon.
All right.